Welcome to our today's do-it-yourself solutions to your major life challenges and critical life issues. Today we will be dealing with tips on how to get yourself in the right mental and emotional mindset and frame before removing toxic people from your life. This is part 1. For the content of this video, please click on the link given in View More tab of the video description. For real value addition through this topic, please focus only on the content. Kindly ignore my lacunas in pronunciation, tone, expressions, accent, grammar, my looks, and even this video's background. Okay, so we'll be dealing with 1 to 30 points in this part 1, and this is all about getting into the right mental, emotional frame and mindset before we attempt to remove the toxic people from our life. Getting someone with whom you have formed deep emotional attachment is not only difficult and painful, but also takes a lot of time. This time, even if you have removed them physically, cut them off physically from your life, you will take a lot of time. So before you get rid of them from your life completely, you need to create mindset, the right thought process, the right beliefs, the right understanding. So let us start. Don't expect them to change, as they would never do that. Understand that many of these disorders are progressively deteriorating one. They will become worse. And only way you can live a life which is satisfying is to run away and cutting off all relationship with these people. Toxic people are always driven from and motivated by their own complex problems as well as their agendas, and not by what is good for them or for their relationship with you. Except that even if you are the caregiver and can't walk away from them, the most important priority for you is to take care of yourself. Identify what is maximum you're willing to do for them, and what is the limit what you will tolerate, without feeling stressed or losing yourself in this impossible maze. Learn and practice assertiveness. Check my 8 videos on assertiveness on the Success Unlimited YouTube channel. Identify, establish and maintain clear boundaries assertively and stick with that. Get some serious thought to what you want and don't want from a partner, your family members, your colleagues and your friends who are toxic. When you get a sense that something is not right in your interaction with someone, go through your mental personal boundaries checklist and enforce these boundaries rigidly. Identify, recognize and consciously work out how you will prevent yourself from getting pulled and sucked into the self-made crises. They will keep on creating crises, dramas and throwing tantrum. Toxic people will make you feel that they need you, using drama deliberately in order to attract more attention and engage you in their game of manipulation. Understand that you're not dealing with a genuine person in distress. These are the people who constantly want our attention just for the sake of getting attention. They are not helping us develop and grow us. They are doing just the opposite. Don't spend much of your time reflecting on and trying to understand a toxic person's negative behavior, as they can suck away all your energies even when they are no longer in your life. When you find that this toxic person is trying to exploit your flaws, weaknesses and mistakes to use them against you, immediately accept your weaknesses to remove the power they may drive from your resistance and justification and feeling bad about yourself. Understand that these toxic people are actually projecting onto you the parts of themselves that they don't want to acknowledge or accept, so that they can pour all their suppressed self-hatred into attacking you. It is not your shit, it is their shit. This is their way of avoiding facing and accepting the truth about themselves. Toxic people often throw tantrums when they feel ignored because you're stopping them from being able to control and manipulate you. If you resist, they may increase their tactic on a very, very aggressive level. When you assertively ensure that you don't get affected by their increased pressure, when they notice you're being assertive and you're not getting impacted. So if you continue with your assertiveness and in a relationship where it is a moderate toxic, they will look for another victim to satisfy their need. Never fight in their own territories. That they will beat you hands down. That is, don't go to their level and try to make them feel bad. Nothing happens to them. Learn not to give in whatever when their toxic behavior escalates, and instead remind yourself that you are doing yourself a favor and also ensuring that these people understand that their old behaviors no longer work with you anymore. Ensure that you choose your battles very carefully, as all the conflicts with toxic people requires huge amount of energy and time. Till you know how to disassociate emotionally with these people, don't try to engage them at all. They have unfathomable energies when they find you acting the way they want. They are just like vampires. The more you act the way they want, the more powerful they become. You must have people around you who are a genuine well-wishers. Surround yourself with healthy relationships. Identify the toxicity of these toxic people. Toxic people are manipulative and selfish. They are difficult to please and impossible to work with. Even when you're trying to help them, they will consistently make you prove yourself to them. Be firm. Be very, very clear with the person about your intention. Then keep the necessary distance to make sure your message is not misconstrued. Don't be too nice. Or nice, it may sound harsh, but since toxic people tend to take advantage of any kindness that is imparted to them, being overly nice can be detrimental to you only. Realize that it is not your job to save them. Accept that it might be a process. It takes time, a lot of effort and preparation, and sometimes outside and expert help is needed. Don't feel like you owe them a huge explanation. Talk to them in a public place. Block them on social media once you have gotten them out of your life physically. Also understand that removing toxic people out of your life can be deeply painful, as you might have developed Stockholm syndrome for these people, in spite of how difficult they were and how much they harmed you. Treat separation from these toxic people equal to losing a loved one through death. You read my blogs on how to handle breakups and move on in life in relationshipandhappiness.com.